Hello everyone, I'm Maria. I'm a teacher in Singapore. So far, sounds like a very positive start, right? However, I do hope that my video will have a negative ending. And you know what I mean in a minute. Okay, so I will make a 5-day video, hopefully just 5 days, about my coronavirus testing experience in Singapore. So, what happened this morning was that I started to have a sore throat. Yesterday, I started to feel like my throat is kind of dry, but just that. And this morning, it started to feel sore, and I was like, should I see a doctor? It's not super sore, just very mild, not coughing or anything. So, in the end, I went to see a doctor. So, what happened? The doctor examined me, my lungs of course, and my throat. She said that my throat looks quite inflamed, so I will need to have a test tomorrow. So tomorrow at 10:45 I'm going to have a coronavirus test. And then probably after 3 days the results will come out. Together with the test I will have to stay at home. I shouldn't go out no matter what, except for the test tomorrow. For the next 5 days I have a stay home notice. Okay, so how does it work? Let me explain to you. So this is the paper that I'm going to present at the clinic tomorrow, and they're going to take a swab test. So in Singapore, how does it work? If you have either shortness of breath or fever more than 37.5, or cough, or runny nose, or sore throat, or something else that the doctor decides is important, then if you have one of them, or of course a combination of them, then the doctor will probably decide to give you a 5-day stay home notice together with the virus test. Alright, so what else does it say? It says my heart rate and all my other details. Alright, so tomorrow I'll have the swab test. I heard it's really painful and some people cried. I'll probably update you about that tomorrow. Well, actually it's a one video of small segments of each day, so that there'll be less suspense for the person watching. So you'll see in the second segment of the video. Another thing is that I have this advisory. So it says that I have to stay at home for 5 days. And as well as that, I have to stay in a separate room as much as possible, or far from the person that I live with. I have to have a good personal hygiene, to wash my hands frequently, not to share any utensils, take my medication, which is in Singapore, depending on your insurance, you might get free medicine and free examination from the doctor. So I got this medicine, usually with my name tag. This is for the sore throat, and this is prednisolone. She said it's for the infection. Okay, so what else does it say? It says if you feel really unwell, you should call an ambulance. I should continue to monitor my temperature. Okay, what else? I also have a 5-day medical certificate, so I shouldn't go to work for the next 5 days. Even though I'm on holiday, they still insisted on giving me this paper. So I canceled all my plans and I'll just stay home, take it easy. I'll probably play the ukulele, watch some funny videos, chat online with my friends. And what else do I do? Yeah, I'll just take it easy. So now I'll explain what I mean by I hope for a negative ending of the video. I hope that I have a negative result so that I can share that with you. And yeah, it's a pretty pleasant night. I actually feel well, and I do hope that I'm well for my own well-being and for the people around me. And I wish you all the best. Please stay healthy. Even if you have a mild symptom, see a doctor. Of course, depending on your countries, depending on what your country's CDC or whatever organization for health you have gives you as an advice, but I think that for many countries it is stated that if you have mild symptoms such as runny nose, cough, sore throat, shortness of breath, a loss of sense and smell, loss of any kind of sense, you should see a doctor. So I wish you all the best. I hope for better times for everyone, and see you at the next segment of this video. Thank you. Hey, this is day 2. I just came back from the clinic. I had an appointment at an exact time, but I still had to wait for an hour. There was a really long queue, so to say. So I went to the clinic and they immediately gave me this paper, another 2-page paper. So what does it say inside? Let's see. It says I should not take the public transport when I go home. I should either take a taxi or a private transport. But I said, can I walk? Because I don't live so far from here. They say, yeah, you can walk. So that's a relief. I could walk. And then there are so many restrictions here. It says self-isolate yourself. Don't return to work. Stay in a separate room with the attached bathroom to minimize interaction. Arrange for food, water, and everything to be placed on your outside of your room so that you can collect it. Minimize contact. Maintain good personal hygiene. Wear a mask if you're coughing or sneezing in the house, of course. Don't share food, crockery, everything in the kitchen, you know. Continue to take medications if they're prescribed. Drink fluids, monitor your temperature, and if you continue to feel unwell, contact the clinic. So, on the next page, it says that I have to stay home. I'm legally required to stay home. I should minimize interactions and not visit any crowded places. I can only go to only if I have something really urgent, like if I feel like I can see a doctor. And the clinic will call me once they get the results, which could be within 3 working days. Oops. So if I have fever, shortness of breath, or anything like that, I should wear a mask to the clinic, or I can take a private transport to the National Center for Infectious Disease, but not with public transport, definitely. Or I can call an ambulance if it's really bad. So it says even if I receive a negative result, I should still stay home until the end of my medical leave. That I have to confirm because I'm not working, because I'm having a holiday, so I have to confirm if maybe I can at least go to the park or something. For example, if I receive a negative test after 3 days, whether working or not, I mean, if I receive it, then I probably won't go to a rock concert, but I mean, maybe I can at least walk to the park, And what else? Okay. Yeah. I think that's about it about this paper. Alright, so after I was given the paper, I had to wait outside. Everyone who had to wait for the swab test waited outside of the clinic. It's really tiny, and also it's better, ventilation to be outside, of course. It's warm. In Singapore, it's usually always hot. So it's better to be outdoors while waiting. So everyone was placed in a very different location because you can't form one line because, maybe I'll show you a very short video so you can have an idea. You'll see one line, but after the line, there were other lines, random lines behind me. But it's okay, we don't need to wait in line because they're going to call our names. Alright? As long as we're kind of distance and waiting outside in a location from which we can kind of hear our name. So they were calling names, but it was so hard to hear because they're deep inside. I mean, the nurses are deep inside, or I don't know if they're nurses, assistants, whatever they actually are, and they'll say some Chinese like "Xiao Huani" or something like that. But it's so unclear. And like, could it be my name? And I'm always just leaning towards the wondering, when will my name come? I don't know. Well, anyway, I waited for an hour, but it felt like ages. And then they called me, and I actually informed them that last night, I'm going to inform you now as well, I had gastric problems, and I had pain, gastric pain. It was quite uncomfortable. I also felt hyperactive, as if I had 3 coffees, and I wasn't sleepy or tired at all. I couldn't sleep at all. And now I don't feel unwell. I mean, I still have a bit of sore throat, but that's the only thing. So they told me I could stop the medicine and just continue sucking the lozenges. So I guess I'll do that. I'll see. Then I asked the clinic, okay, I live with a person who always stays in his room. And basically, it is true. He always stays in his room. He might just leave the room so that he can leave the house to play tennis and then go back from playing tennis. Or once a day, he will quickly cook something, like super quick Vietnamese dish. Take 10-15 minutes actually. And then after that, he will have leftovers, which he will warm up in the microwave. So he probably spends 20 minutes a day in total, maximum, I think, in the living room. Sometimes he might be at the balcony, but I can't confirm. I mean, that's unusual. Or of course he would do his laundry and be at the balcony, but that's about it. Yeah. So I explained to them very briefly that, I mean, is it possible for me to use common areas if I'm careful? And say, yeah, if you wear a mask, well, I think if I wear a mask and he's in the living room or in the kitchen, yes, I will wear a mask. But if he's not there, then there's no point in wearing a mask by myself. Especially I live on a balcony, on a very high floor, 23rd. So we never use the aircon in the common areas. We always open all the windows, the balcony door, everything is always open, so there's always constant flow of air. So nothing will stay in the air. I mean, it's always warm. There's always a lot of air, wind, and stuff like that. So yeah, so I was very relieved, because if I really had to stay only in my room, it's going to be very difficult and troublesome as well for him, because he has to, kind of take care of me, put things at my door, then throw some things a few times a day. So it's quite troublesome for him as well. Yeah. So now he's about to go back to Vietnam, most probably for good. So I hope to keep him safe. I'm also hoping that I'm okay as well. I hope he'll be fine. And yeah, I have some pimples. But that's definitely not from the virus. I mean, yeah. And what else was I going to add? Yeah, I'm very relieved that I can use the public areas in the house, because it means I can cook, I can stay in the living room. I mean, maybe on a balcony. I mean, what is the point, honestly? I mean, he just never stays there anyway. And my room is really small, so basically it's my bed, which is huge and takes up the whole room. I can just stand up and take one step to the door. That's my whole space. So I can't move in my room at all. I can only lie down or kind of sit in my bed. I mean, if I had to, yeah, I will find a way to do everything. But luckily, the clinic said, yeah, you can use the common areas. So I decided to use this spray. Alright, it's called SDST. It's not the only company, but it's one of the companies that produces, how is it called? It is called, there was a really special name. Protective antimicrobial coating. So it means after I spray, very densely, and then if I wipe nicely so it spreads kind of evenly on different kinds of surfaces, They'll be protected from all kinds of virus and bacteria for 90 days. That sounds like a good deal, doesn't it? Yep, sounds good to me. So I immediately, I mean, I've done it before, but now, you know, just in case I sprayed, you know, the chair on the balcony, the doors, all the doors, like the fridge door, even the kitchen kettle, so the holder of the kettle and the thing that you press down to turn it on. I sprayed everything that is touched. The door of the microwave oven, the door of some other areas that we share. The kitchen. Oh my god, I can't do it. The knife. I sprayed everything. I mean, at least I think that I sprayed everything that can be touched. The lights. Everything. I think. I hope. So yeah, I will do my best to keep my roommates safe until I wait for my results to come out. I hope they come out soon, and I hope they're negative. But to be honest, I was really wondering for a long time yesterday, should I go to the clinic for such a small thing, you know? But I felt very uneasy all day, but because I know that sore throat takes a few days to recover, so I would just start wondering for a few days, am I infectious? Will I infect my flatmate? Should I go out? Can I still go to the bar at least? Should I take stronger measures? Is it necessary? I was just really uncomfortable. My flatmate has a family. He has to go back next week, so that's also partly why, I mean, I would feel very bad if I infect him, for example, and he infects his family. That would be very unpleasant. So I was really wondering, I was okay, I'll go to the clinic and they'll just tell me there's nothing to worry about, go home and just take these little changes, or you know, you need a test something, or yeah, go home for a few days, monitor yourself, blah blah blah. And of course they asked me to take a test. Did I say how the test went? I guess I didn't. Sorry about it. Alright, so when I went to the clinic, they asked me to put down my mask like this. It's face up. And then they inserted something like a needle, a white needle. So it looked plastic, very thin and very long. And I was expecting some sharp pain or whatever. But I just felt like sneezing, so I coughed. Then they did this to the other nostril as well, both nostrils. And I coughed both times, but it wasn't painful. I don't know if there's a difference in the kinds of swab tests, like the device or whatever it's called. So it wasn't painful at all. Yeah. Okay, I think day 2 is getting too long. I'll probably keep on having 10,000 moral dilemmas like, oh my god, did I spend too long in the kitchen? Is it okay if I dance in the living room? I mean, he's in his room for 5 hours. Maybe until he leaves. Can I dance? Is it okay? I mean, I feel okay, so of course I would like to have some cardio activity in my room. It's impossible unless I dance on my bed. Break a leg. Yeah. Keep on having some moral dilemmas for the next 5 days. I think I'll enjoy myself. I can do many things. I have my ukulele. I can watch maybe Netflix or some funny YouTube videos. I might draw, you know, I'll see how it goes. I will order some products online so that I can cook. I'll research some recipes. What else do I do? I'll chat with my friends, family, whoever has time. I'll do my laundry. I might do yoga as well. I do it usually once a week. I do some stretches in the morning, but they're more for my knees. Sunday is my yoga day. So that's what I do. This is 5 days, you know, some people have to do this for 2 weeks, so even if they're not sick. And others who are sick have to do it for sometimes 2 months or longer, so 5 days is nothing. I mean, we had a lockdown and I was still home all the time anyway. Alright, well, this is quite a natural video at least. I hope you didn't get too bored. Well, if you did, sorry. Alright, thank you. Hey, it's Sunday, my 3rd day, and the weather is quite London-like, I guess. I've never been to London, I just suppose. And this morning I received a text message, and it says, "Dear blah blah blah, your test is negative. The result of your test is negative." So it's great. So I guess this will be the last day, much earlier than expected. It wasn't even 3 full days. So I'm really glad about my result. It means I don't have to worry about my flatmate. Maybe I can even go out. That's the thing. It says, if your swab test is negative, you receive a text message or a call. If it is negative, you should still remain at home until the end of your medical leave to give yourself time to fully recover. So I think that my sore throat is fine. I don't feel it anymore. Yesterday it was 90% better. Today, so far, I don't feel anything. So I'm wondering if I should still stay home. That's the question, because I feel okay. You know what? Maybe I'll give the clinic a call and just ask them to confirm. I mean, I can stay home. It's not a problem. But if I know that I can at least go to the park, you know, move a little bit. That's something nice to know. Yeah, so that's great, really, really great. I guess this video will be way shorter than I expected. And it's really good. It's really good. No drama. That's great. All right. So my wish came true, and the end is negative. The end of the video is negative. Alright, if you remember the beginning, I said that. Okay, so I think this will be the end of the video, I guess. I called the clinic and I asked them, so am I supposed to stay home? Should I do anything else? And they just said, just don't go to work. You can do anything you want. Wow, that's great. It's like a really nice feeling, because actually, you know, it's kind of a nice experience, interesting experience to, I mean, I don't wish it to anyone, of course, but it's, I would say, interesting to experience this, you know, to go and experience such a, how should I call it? You know, we're in this pandemic and many people get tested, and it's interesting to see what the procedure is like in the country where I'm currently residing, so that I can share it with other people, just for your information. I hope I didn't mislead anyone with any information. I tried to be accurate. And let me know if you have anything to say, any questions, any comments. Did you have a similar experience in Singapore or somewhere else? How was it? Let me know, please. I will be interested to know. I'm quite a curious person. So yeah, wow, I can go out. It's what I was actually trying to say is that it's a good feeling, because I feel like I'm free in a way. It's like different from the lockdown kind of free. I mean, I know it's not about how long it has been, but the feeling of being told by someone that you can go out without being fined for $10,000 or 6 months of imprisonment, because that's what it said before. So it was a good feeling to kind of know that you're free from this obligation. And yeah, I wish everyone to be healthy. I hope for better times. That's the only thing I can say. No one can predict anything with any certainty, even though Russia had some good news related to the vaccine yesterday, but you know, only time will tell. Okay, thank you.